If you're against food stamps, you should be against Social Security too. Old people should not be getting Social Security too. If younger people and middle-aged people can't get food stamps, old people shouldn't get Social Security, because last time I checked, old people had their entire lives to save. So you shouldn't be needing the government's money if you had an entire lifetime, literally 80 plus years, 70, 80, whatever it is. I'm convinced that a lot of you motherfuckers are just slow. Like, I'm kind of glad that I'm gonna be dying in about 30 years, you know? Because what? Social Security and food stamps are not the same fucking thing. You have to pay into the Social Security system in order to be able to collect from it. Meaning, those old ass 80-year-olds, they have spent their entire working life paying into that system. So it's almost as if the government is simply giving them their money back. Food stamps, however, you are not required to pay 1 cent in taxes to receive food stamps. That means that moochers are free to collect as much as they fucking please without paying a single dime into the fucking system. Can you see the difference in that? It's like y'all cannot find legitimate reasons to back up these fucking wild ass concepts that you come up with. So y'all just start making shit up. And that shit is scary. If you're against food stamps, you
Just start making ish up. And you can't make this ish up. I mean, it always amazes me how there's so many people out here who really just have no idea how the world works, but yet will boldly and confidently say certain things publicly and stand on it and just be dead wrong and just ignorant as can be. So we don't even have to address that. Let's get into the next clip. Before we do, if you guys could like the video, only takes a second, and it actually does help out more than you know. So it only takes a second. I know it's easy to forget, but I'd appreciate it.
I'm in actual disbelief. We just got a letter from leasing that our dog is being evicted. Our dog is being evicted. Has been a problem for like 2 months because the dog is a Rottweiler, and sometimes he growls at people, but he doesn't mean harm. And he's not growling in like a, sometimes he growls when I pet him. I don't know how to explain it, but he's like the sweetest dog ever. Inserting picture here. He's so cute. He's so nice. They told us we have to be gone by July 17th. Well, the dog has to be evicted by July 17th, and if he's not gone by July 17th, then we're evicted by July 17th. I'm like, has anyone else experienced this? What did you do? Because he's like the nicest dog ever. I'm going to show you. He's currently hiding under my bed because the ceiling fan scares him. He's scared of the ceiling fan. Moose! We're fighting leasing right now because we're like, what the fuck do you expect us to do with the dog? He's never physically assaulted anyone. Like, I don't understand. They emailed us and said, no, I'm sorry, but the dog needs to go. So what should I do? Any advice would be helpful. I'm an actual...
Oh man, that sucks. That sucks a lot. That dog does look well behaved, and he doesn't even look like he really messes that house up for real or that apartment up. The only thing I can say, because I'm always going to seek personal responsibility first, the only thing I would really say and comment on this situation is that this fellow should have made sure it was clear up front that that dog was fine, and it should have been some type of policy. Usually the apartment complex have policies in regards to the type of breeds that are allowed to stay there. He should have made sure it was very clear, maybe even sent an email just so it's in writing somewhere about the breed of his dog and confirming that everything is fine, because the best time to do that would be at the point where you have the most leverage, i.e., they're trying to fill a spot, right? An empty spot at their complex, and they just want to put somebody in there. Whatever the heck happened after the fact, maybe this guy's been living there for 2 years, 3 years, and they want to raise the rent, you know? So they may be looking for an angle to get him out. And that's why it's more important to get that up front, especially if you don't have like a small, harmless breed of dog. If you got a bigger breed of dog, that's the only thing I can say moving forward, what he should have did after the fact, or I mean, excuse me, before the fact. But still sucks nonetheless. It's inconvenient, but he's gonna have to figure it out.
Well, it's official. They just slid the eviction notice under my door. They are terminating my lease as of May 26th, but right now, since they're selling the apartment, they're basically trying to force me out of here. They have showings constantly. I just got a notice this afternoon. They claim that it was slid under my door at 8:30 this morning. I was up and around the whole time working from home. There was no notice under my door until noon, I'm telling you. And they are scheduling showings for tomorrow at 8:30 a.m. So that's less than 24 hours notice. I have so many showings scheduled. They're basically just, it's going to be a parade of people in and out of this fucking apartment. I'm so mad. Well, it's official.
What's up, y'all? So I just got an eviction notice on my door. This is a wrongful eviction notice. I just went to the leasing office actually the other day and reminded them that they informed me in both writing and a recording. Basically, I said, long story short, this is a wrongful eviction and they know they're in the wrong. And I just, at this point, need money and someone who's well.
I hate when they do this. I hate when they do this. And I knew it was going to come down to that because they usually do this when they need some money. What am I talking about? She wanted to skip over all the details. She was about to get into the details. Then she caught herself, possibly because she said, ooh, this might get, if I actually tell my part of this or I break down the situation, I might not get this money that I need. Hold on.
That they informed me in both writing and a recording. Basically, I said,
what did they inform you?
Long story short, this is a wrongful eviction.
Ain't no long story short. Tell us the details. You gonna?
And they know they're in the wrong. And I just, at this point, need money and someone who's well versed in New Jersey tenant law. I don't care anymore. I live at the Beacon in Jersey City. I can tell you, this place is on some fuck shit.
Tell us the F-ish that they're on. I don't like when people do things like that. See, these are the type of people who will like be out of a relationship and be talking all bad about the other person. And meanwhile, they were the main culprit that was doing all the bad, the ish.
And unfortunately, I didn't want to have to dox myself, but it's getting to that point now. So if anyone knows anyone who could help me out with this, I would really appreciate it because I'm just kind of over it and I'm really doing my best to keep it together. Maybe I'll make another video explaining all of the shit that has gone down in this complex because I feel like I feel like I need to expose all of the fuck shit that has been going down in this complex for so long for anyone else who would be interested in living here. I didn't want to do that because genuinely I enjoy living here. There's so many amenities that are nice here. There's so many people who are nice here, but there's also a lot of open vacancies for a lot of reasons, which I can detail in a very detailed video that I really didn't want to make. This apartment complex is a luxury apartment complex in Jersey City, and the units here are under $2,000 a month. Why do we think that? And also, if I could tell you the amount of people who I've spoken to who have had their own issues with the leasing office and the amount of times that they've had to go in there to solve problems and being told that their problems were being solved and they didn't. And again, I know their books aren't clean. I would love a lawyer or somebody who can go in there on my behalf and check their books. So again, it says you are to vacate and remove all your possessions from the above address. Yeah, they're saying that it says you are to vacate and remove all your possessions from the above address within 3 business days after receiving this warrant. Do not count Saturday, Sunday, and legal holidays in calculating the 3 days. If you do not move within 3 days, a special civil court officer will remove all persons from the property at any time between the hours of 8:30 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. on or after June 18th. They never said I couldn't sign a lease in another unit on this property for cheaper, and they're not letting me do it because of a balance that they owe me, that they're trying to say I need to pay them. And I even have a legal court document that says I don't have to pay that balance. And here we are. Access to information, access to resources are the differences between a lot of these systemic issues we have in this country. So if you have any means to help right now, I know you don't know me, but on a human level, I would really appreciate it. What's up, y'all? So I just got...
No, on a human level, you feel entitled to it. Listen, man, I really get frustrated. And I just try to avoid people like this, like the plague. Here's why. So you've been here this whole time and there hasn't been no issues. It sounds like you've known that they've had these bad books and they're just doing these bad practices, yet you want to stay there. Let's just get to the crux of this. She got that notice that she's about to get evicted, and it was very formal and it was very ironclad. Like, it's happening, and it was proceedings, and it's scary. And she got scared and she's panicking and frantic because it sounds like she might have tried to play a stupid game and now she won a stupid prize, and it's going through. There's no way around it. So she's ultimately emotional about the situation. And these are the type of people, fellas, you have to watch out for too when you get in relationships. Let me explain. She was perfectly fine there this whole time, but then the second that something happens, all of a sudden, now she's got all this baggage and all these things that she wants to dox about the apartment, and now they're the worst place in the world just because they decided to exercise their options. It'll be the same thing, fellas, if you leave a woman like this. If you leave her, she wanted to be there, everything was great, but now all of a sudden you left and you decided, I'm just not happy. I just don't like the way things are going. This doesn't meet my standards. What they'll do is start talking trash about you all over town, trying to dox you, trying to make you out to be the demon lord, everything. And she kind of comes across that way because, I mean, it's obvious, like, it's scary. It's coming down, but your first reaction is to do this. You're not giving any details, which indicates to me that you have a part to play in it as well. And if you started to kind of explain the situation, there would be gaps within your story to where it wouldn't make sense. And then people would speculate even further. That's ultimately what it comes down to, I believe.
This is I got eviction on my record, and I'm tired of trying to like find a way to get over that. I'm tired of trying to find a room to rent so I could be able to save and get my own place. I'm tired of living in cars and half the cars breaking down. This is the second car I got that's reliable, but then there was times where my first car that was reliable broke down. I mean, not broke down, it got repossessed. The car that got repossessed when I first went to Atlanta. Okay, every job be using my situation against me. I'm not trying to like sound like a victim, but every job use my situation against me. I haven't found the job that will let me like sleep in the parking lot, that fuck with me. I tried to get a hotel job, and like I tried sleeping in the locker room at when I was working at the Marriott. I tried sleeping on the train. I tried like everything. I tried pass split, all these little rooming things, and even they want you to have good credit. But when you, like, for example,
Listen, man. Imagine you're in an interview and you're like, yeah, you meet all the qualifications. Yeah, you seem like the perfect candidate. We would like to offer you a conditional offer. And then you drop the last little bomb on them at the end, like, oh, I would definitely love to accept the offer, but I just have one more thing that I need to negotiate. I'm like, what is it? Yeah, I'm going to be in my car sleeping in your parking lot. Look, they're going to take it back from there. They're like, slide it back. Actually, something came up. We'll be in touch.
there's people when you from the hood, when the parents mess up their credit and they use their kids' social security for cable and all that shit. You gotta, like, come on. Versus supportive families that put, like, make a college fund, or they help with a credit card when you turn 18 and stuff like that. But when you got people that kept you the fuck down, that shit, you got, like, come on, man. I'm sorry that I'm cussing, but it's real shit. So, bam, man. I went to Texas in 2020 prior to going to Atlanta, and as I did everything I could. I had all the strip, and I had 2 jobs. I did everything I could, and I took out a loan because that state you could take out a loan. Unlike on this part of the South, the deep South, they want you to have a title loan. The most loan that you could get is if you own your car and not leasing a car, and it's fully yours, and you maybe could get a loan like that. But where I'm from, California, I used to take out a payday loan. I was able to pawn jewelry. I was able to recycle cans and bottles and shit. I did everything I could to make it. They don't got it out like every state.
You see what this eviction will do? She said she was working 2 jobs at one point. She probably at one point could afford an apartment, but still couldn't get one, still didn't have access to it. And as well as she's taking out payday loans, all this type of stuff. So what's that give us insight into? She probably has bad credit. She probably just has a bad record all the way across the board. Credit, eviction, hopefully nothing criminal. But ultimately what this gives us insight into and why they keep these records is because they want to be able to track the people who make bad decisions and who take advantage of certain things and don't do the right thing and pay their bills on time like they're supposed to. And it sounds like she at least at some point had a track record of being that way.
Got different things, you know. A red state, you got to figure it out on your own. But they say it's a Bible belt. It's a Bible belt, but it's nothing. But it's really cursed. It's like a dark cloud. It's a dark web. I swear to God, man. I swear to God. This and I'm not trying to shoot that because every state, every part of the world got its goods and pros and cons. But unfortunately, as soon as I left California and I moved to Texas during the pandemic at 25 years old, I saved and I took out a $500 loan to be able to get my apartment. I did that, but I was around the wrong people out there too, and everybody around there watched me sleep in my car to do it. Okay, something happened, and I'm gonna be honest. I got laced. Okay, I end up hanging around the wrong people, and I end up getting laced with weed, and I lost my apartment. I had nobody to call on. I only had that apartment for 1 month.
Man, pick your friends wisely. The whole time I was listening to this, I was like, man, I want to cut this off because this is the wrong person that I want to listen to. Because just through sheer osmosis, it kind of can rub off on you a little bit. And I hate being around people like this who, I'm not trying to come at her, but what I'm just saying is she's just got a lot of negative energy surrounding her. She's got a negative cloud surrounding her. And I tend to try to avoid people like that. I like to stay lucky. I like to stay optimistic, enthusiastic, you know. And she just seems like she's a lot of victimhood, as well as just like I said, just the energy I'm picking up is real negative, real dark. And I don't like to keep it like that.
Paycheck to paycheck. How about day to day? How about sunrise to sunset? How about meal to meal? It was a time where literally we were living solely on tips. That was it. Solely on tips. Tips were buying the gas and the groceries. It was either going to be McDonald's or ramen noodles. It's like we were aspiring to live paycheck to paycheck. That was the goal. We were reaching to be able to live a full 2 weeks and have everything covered: bills, groceries, gas, little odds and ends type things that you need on a daily basis. Yeah, but when I look back, I think back. When I tell you we should be one of those people, like we should have had one of those stories where we were living in our car. There was no reason that we should be like have had a roof over our head and clothes on our backs for the entire time that we were going through that and living like that. First of all, if you're a single mom, shout out. If you are a child of a single mom and you are doing things to help, like working, I was working 12-hour shifts at the cookout, girl. Like, it was a time, but I look back on that time and I'm grateful. We had a lot of good times, a lot of laughs. It was tough, and you, of course, like as a kid, you want things, you want to experience things, blah, 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 blah. But when I tell you, I wouldn't have wanted to do it with anybody else but my girl and my brother, period.
So I got a positive thing to say about this. I got a negative thing to say about this. Y'all want the good news or the bad news first? Bad news. Okay, bad news first. I don't like that. I don't like this whole sentiment about shouting out. If you're a single mother, shout out. No. See, we have this weird inverted perspective where it's like salute to the single mothers, and if you're a wife, you're vilified and you're up under a man. We need to change the way that we're looking at this because that's crazy. And we understand that children thrive better in two-parent households. So what are we prioritizing? Are we prioritizing the children, or are we just trying to glorify our situation that we decided to end up in, that we really don't want to end up in, but we're just glorifying it because that's just where it is. That's I feel like prisoners did that as well. They said, okay, I got this thing on my record and it hinders me in all these other ways. So at the very least, since I gotta live with it, I'm gonna make it cool. I'm gonna run around saying I'm a street dude and you're on the sidewalk. And I'm gonna just keep saying it like it's a marketing term, like I'm campaigning, and eventually it's gonna when at least when I'm out, it's gonna have certain perks to be able to say that I'm a street dude. Ain't nothing cool about that. Now, the good news, I like the fact she was doing the morning reflection. I think I'm gonna do that tomorrow. That's a good reminder. She was basically remembering when she was like, we used to dream of days of living paycheck to paycheck. It sounds like that might be where she is. But it's really cool the fact that she still appreciates just the fact that she has what she needs when she needs it, even if she's ending up at zero every month. And, she's thinking back to worse times. And that's a great way just to put yourself in a good state. I think that other woman that we were talking about, who we were looking at as a dark cloud, I think she could benefit from that as well. But we'll leave it, y'all. We'll leave it there for today. If you could like the video, I greatly appreciate it. Only takes a second, and it actually does help out tremendously. Also, if you could hype is a new feature that YouTube offers where it actually helps smaller content creators like myself. And when you hype, it actually pushes us to the extent that it pushes the larger content creators. So all you do is press the hype button, and then it'll show you the points. And since I am a smaller content creator, I get more points. And then also Patreon's link below if you want to see self-improvement content. But until then, I'll catch you in the next video.